Welcome back, Wayward Souls, to the Double Tap In, episode 72.
Chugging along.
Chugging along. And today, we're talking about dinner with mom. What's better than dinner with mom?
2 dinners with mom in very short order.
There you go.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we're over for dinner at mom's, Jennifer and I. And my dad, Jim, brought up he wanted steaks. And I said, well, it just so happens I can cook a steak. And Jennifer says, oh, yeah, he can cook steak. I said, well, it's set then. We're going to have steaks for dinner. And mom said, I'm going to pay for it. And I said, whatever makes you happy. If that makes you happy, fine. So Jennifer and I went on a quest for some cuts of meat. And just so happens, the grocery kitty had T-bones. Now, I wanted porterhouse, but, T-bones will do in a pinch. And so grabbed up some T-bone. We set the date, mom's dinner, and we go and decide the menu is going to be the T-bones. I'm making mashed potatoes, and then whatever bullshit veggie they want, they can have. Because, I'm a meat and taters kind of guy.
That's right.
So steak day arrives. I take them out and let them come to room temperature with regular gunpowder, because I didn't want to plus P my mom and dad.
You're gonna learn today.
And so I fired up the charcoal grill, and I had forgotten to grab a new bag of charcoal while I was out. So I had to employ the hair dryer method of getting shit rocket hot, because I should have had twice the amount of charcoal that I did. But anyway, I employed the hair dryer, got that grill up to about 700 freaking degrees. And it took it may have taken 6 minutes to cook all the T-bones. I'll tell you, everybody in the house likes a different cooking time. My mom and I prefer it more on the rare side. Jennifer and Jim prefer it more on the well done side. Well, we all know that I will not cook a steak that is anything over medium well. And if I do, that's an accident. I try to stop at medium.
Yeah.
Occasionally I miss. So I put one on. I let it go for a minute. I add another one. I let it go for a minute. I add another one. Okay, you follow what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Flip them all, and in 5-6 minutes, I'm done. And they are absolutely perfect. We wrap them up. We go over. We slice them. They are freaking phenomenal. The flavor's phenomenal. The texture is phenomenal. Everything is good. What I do with the T-bone when I serve it is I basically cut the loin section off, and I cut the New York strip section off, and then I cut them cross grain, and I put them on a serving tray in each little pile, if that makes sense. So if you want a loin side, you get the loin. If you want the New York strip side, you get the New York strip side. And when all was said and done, and the pants were unsnapping and the bellies were being rubbed, there was very, very little left. I think Mom and Jim may have ended up with lunch the next day, but if it wasn't much of a lunch. They would have to add a peanut butter and jelly to it or something like that to top it off. But there was just something about a good cut of meat, cooked good over charcoal, that makes my day.
Oh yeah.
It just makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can't beat it.
It's like it's like cooking that venison in Texas that we did last weekend. You know, like there's just granted I didn't get to cook it over charcoal, but
Yeah.
cooking a piece of cooking dinner, and let's be honest, let's open this up to cooking dinner, and it comes out the way that you anticipated, for whether it's you and Jennifer, for the wife and 2 kids, for Texas, my in-laws and my sister-in-law's roommate and family, whoever it is, cooking a meal and sharing it with others, and it comes out the way that you anticipated, is just fantastic.
Yes.
Like that's why you do it. You know, like
Absolutely.
There's something special, one, about sharing a meal with others. You know, like there's just something special about it. You know, you look at, through the course of history, the things that have occurred around a dinner table. Look at the firehouse.
I was just getting ready to say, the firehouse dinner table.
The firehouse kitchen table.
Yep.
The problems that table has seen, the solutions that table has heard, and it's anything from issues with the department, people's personal lives, people's professional lives, the absolutely terrible calls that they've dealt with, to the magnificent calls where, you know, everything went right. Like there's something special about sharing a meal with others.
Yeah.
About being around the table and eating together and all of that kind of stuff. And you know, we talk about our traditions the last couple episodes between Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and you can still throw away the fucking black eyed peas.
Yep,
Throw
for sure.
the fuck away. Yeah. But what really makes it special is who you're sharing your dinner table with.
Yes. Yes,
you know,
for sure.
And I say dinner table, who you're sharing your table with. You know, that's what makes it special.
Yep.
So yeah.
And it happened in the firehouse too, but our family dinners here are a comedy show.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's let's say what it is. It's families getting together and spending time together, and it can be absolutely hysterical. And the firehouse family falls right into that too.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah, and look at you know, the people, like your close family friends. You know, like there's a group of probably 10 families. Yeah, it probably was 10 families at one point. It's probably 5 families now that, like, Rach, like Harper and Lincoln, call the parents uncle and aunt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we're not even close to being related.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like there's no connection at all, other than, you know, I've known some of these people for close to 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's there's something special about, and as I'm sitting at my dining room table, there's something special about this spot, this place.
Yep. We do something called family dinner. And our family dinner in that context, no one's related.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dale, Blakely, Sophie, who refers to me as Knuckles Mike, because instead of saying Uncle Mike, it's Knuckles Mike, because every time I see her, I get Knuckles from her.
Yeah.
And it's several other folks that we either are friends, we work together, whatever. And we try to do it every couple of months.
Yeah.
And we solve the world's problems. We laugh at each other. We cry with each other. We do all of that. And you might not have a close relationship with your actual family, you know, extended family kind of deal. But you do with those folks. And a lot of times they mean more to me than, you know, actual family. So
Yeah.
more, spend more time with them, that sort of thing. And yeah, you can't beat that shit at all. And we eat like fucking champs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because
Like
all of
that's
us have a skill set.
yeah. Yeah. That's whew. Like I'm excited. So this weekend we go to my parents' house. My brother, sister-in-law, their 2 kids, they'll come over and um like I'm excited. One, I'm just excited to see them. Like their kids are just as cute as they can be. They're fun. They get along great with Harper and Lincoln. My brother's wife is amazing. She's a great time to hang out with, and she's like, she'll say something and be like, "What?" And of course, like I'm hard of hearing, so I don't hear exactly what it is. So I think it's something else. I'm like, did she really just say that? Come to find out, she didn't. And then be there with mom and dad and see them as grandparents, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You didn't do that when I was a kid. Why? Like, no. So
Not mine. That's yours.
yeah.
You handle it.
Yeah. So all of that is super exciting, as well as like I know that we're gonna have some amazing food. Like my brother can really cook. I mean, mom and dad cook. Like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
So tonight is dinner with mom.
Oh.
And because as you know, we're sitting chowing down on our T-bones, gnawing on the bones and slopping up all that. I mentioned that in the process of buying the steaks, I'd picked up a chicken. And I wanted, so chicken and dumplings is on the menu.
Nice.
And that led into a discussion that I'm kind of familiar with. What do people call chicken and dumplings?
Oh, dumplings is I don't want to say completely foreign thing to me, but I've had dumplings. If I've had dumplings 5 times in my life,
You talking slick dumplings?
I know that there's slick dumplings. I know that there's
Puffy dumplings.
I have no idea what the difference is. I like you could bring in chicken and dumplings, beef and dumplings, whatever it is, and I wouldn't have a clue as to which is which. I've had it. I think it may have like three times in my life might be an accurate guess. I can think of 2, and I would imagine if it was 2 that there's probably one other time that I can't think of. But yeah. I have like the only dumplings that I know of are the ones that come in like the red box.
And Annie's.
And I think you still have to cut those up, right? Like they don't come.
You just break them. They're already scored.
Okay.
Cores in them. They come 3 or 4 to a strip. You just snap them off and dump them in.
Okay. Yeah, but like no idea anything about it. So I've had those, and then Delmar did some kind of, or maybe it was like a Legion or something like that, did a fundraiser up in Delmar that I went to for beef and dumplings, chicken and dumplings. I don't even know. And went and had that once. And like that's the 2 times in the 20 years that I've been in Salisbury that I know of. And before that, we never heard of chicken and dumplings.
So if I said chicken pot pie,
yeah,
are you familiar?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is chicken pot pie to you?
Chicken pot pie to me is your chicken, some kind of gravy, some veggies, like in that gravy or sauce, and then you put like something over top of it, bake it, and
like looks like an actual pie.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, very obviously.
No way.
Because of my accent, because of my attitude, because of all of it. It's
never
obvious where I hail from. So I moved to Pennsylvania Dutch country.
Mm-hmm. The place where mail goes to die.
Yes, Jesus Christ. I'm going to tell another story. Sidebar: we mentioned in a previous episode that Dale's wife Blakely was supposed to get a package, did not, and caused a little issue on Facebook. She commented, somebody from U.S. Postal Service is friends with her, and they commented back and whatnot. That day, I did not get mail service. She did not get mail service that day.
Mm-hmm.
My Daily Digest said that I had 5 things coming, something like that, whatever. I didn't get shit. The following day, I go out on the porch after letting the dogs out at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I had mail. I got mail again in the afternoon. I got 2 fucking deliveries in the same goddamn day.
What?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, that's wild.
Absolutely. So I moved to York, Pennsylvania.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Came away with a couple good friends, and that was about it. And I said or heard that I was having chicken and dumplings for dinner through my former in-laws. Perfect.
Yeah.
I love chicken and dumplings. What they served was chicken pot pie. Right. Exactly. Not a fucking dumpling one anywhere.
Yeah.
So I said, y'all need to explain this to me. What we call chicken and dumplings actually has slick dumplings in them. They're flat. You're full of shit. Whatever. This is chicken pot pie, or chicken and dumplings. And I said, no, that's chicken pot pie. Does it look like a pie?
Well,
yes,
yeah.
it does. You got a crust across the top. It's baked like a fucking pie. You crinkle the edges. That is chicken fucking pot pie. Period. It's a fucking pie. Don't care. So I end up making them chicken and dumplings. And when I make chicken and dumplings, then Aunt Annie's didn't exist. You had to roll your dumplings, slice them, do all that shit. So I made them chicken and dumplings. And I said, this is chicken and dumplings. And they said, no. I'll think of the term they used here in a second. But they had something completely different for that. And they said, you made your dumplings wrong. The dumplings you're supposed to use are puffy dumplings. And basically you take a spoonful of and even the dough is different because it rises, it puffs up. So they made that and called it something else.
Trash.
I can't remember exactly what that was.
Trash.
That was chicken pot pie. When they put the dumplings on top, that was their chicken pot pie. I said, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So anyhow, we're having dinner the other night at my mom's, and Jennifer says, I've never had slick dumplings until I moved here. Chicken and dumplings to me are the puffy dumplings that go on top of the chicken pot pie, or the chicken and dumplings, when you're done, they look like biscuits floating on top.
Okay.
And I said, all right, that's fine. So unbeknownst to her, tonight for dinner, my mom is doing puffy dumplings and I'm doing slick dumplings.
So wait a second.
Yes, exactly right.
Wait a second.
There are 2 dumplings.
Chicken and slick dumplings. That's in it's like a gravy, right?
Yes.
It's like a thin gravy.
Yep.
So you take your chicken, pull it,
Shred
cut
it,
it off,
Yep.
whatever you want to do. Throw it in this gravy, and then you take these slick dumplings, the little red box, break them up.
Yep.
And they cook in the gravy, right?
Right. Yep.
And you kind of work that around, and that's chicken and dumplings.
Correct.
The Eastern Shore of Maryland, chicken and dumplings.
Yes. Yep.
and they do what kind of contraption or what kind of concoction is this puffy dumpling?
It is basically they're called drop dumplings,
Okay.
and it is a flour, water, I believe baking powder to get the rise.
Okay.
And it is basically the dough is basically dropped into the on top of the same concoction, and you can put a lid on it to steam, cook, bake, whatever you want to call it, these dumplings till they pop up and fluff up, and that's what they are. My grandmother used to make something very similar for peas and dumplings, but she would not make a fluffy dumpling for that. They were more just a little dime size dumpling that did not rise a whole lot.
Huh.
And we would have peas and dumplings occasionally.
Now I've heard of. Well, I guess when I had the chicken and when I've had the dumplings, they've had like peas was always with them.
Mm-hmm. But no dumplings in the peas.
No.
Yeah.
No. Like when I put it on my plate, I just end up mixing it all together.
Absolutely.
But the dumplings, like the peas were separate, and like you just scooped them out of the pot and put them on your plate. This is kind of blowing my mind, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit. I love peas and dumplings. I love chicken and dumplings, beef and dumplings, whatever.
Yeah.
Beef and dumplings to me is the shit. I love a beef and dumplings.
When you do beef and dumplings, what kind of beef do you use? What cut of meat?
It is some sort of roast. It can be a chuck roast. It can be a eye round. It can be any of that thing that you sear and bake in the oven. You use the drippings in the dumplings to give them the color and whatnot. It's just fantastic. I love it.
And you just again like
shred
pull it apart. You shred it.
Yep.
Could you do that as a crock pot meal?
You could. Yeah, you absolutely could. You might have to cook the dumplings separate and add them in, but I've never done dumplings in a crock pot.
Well, if you did it,
challenge accepted.
If you did it as like if you do a chicken noodle soup in a crock pot, like you put the egg noodles in last.
Yep.
Here's a fun fact. If you put egg noodles in your crock pot chicken noodle soup, you ruin your fucking leftovers.
Yeah.
Because all you get is a fucking soggy mess.
Yep.
When you go to eat it the next day.
And if you add them too soon,
yeah, you get a soggy fucking mess.
You get a sog. I did it 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Like 10 days ago, I did it and made that mistake, put the noodles in too fast. Now, Jennifer ate it, didn't complain. Flavor wise, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was a big gelatinous fucking mess, is what it was.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't happy with that. Flavor was good, but
yeah.
It did last Wednesday when I did it.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's what you do is if you make your chicken noodle soup in a crock pot, which I'd fully recommend. It's the same as letting it sit on your stovetop and simmer all day, only safer if you're not at home.
That's right.
Is when it's time to eat, make your noodles on the stovetop.
Yes.
So that way you can scoop out and put them into your soup. Don't mix it all together. And that's the same with any soup. Right? But I would think that if you're doing some sort of meat and dumplings, that in my mind, it's always for a big group of people.
Yeah.
And if you do it in the crock pot, I think what I would do is do it in like a broth, kind of like a Mississippi pot roast. Do it in a broth, let it cook down, and then as I'm getting close to the end, add more broth in, and then make the gravy that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely.
So like you're getting ready to serve it. I'm mixing up my cornstarch. I'm adding more broth, water, whatever to the crock pot. I've shredded my chicken, my beef, whatever, and I add that all in to make there more volume. Once that's all done, then I'm going to add my dumplings for like the last however long they take to cook.
Yeah.
And then go from there. I think that's...
We're going to have to get you to make something with dumplings.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And
I might do it. Try it with the chicken thighs in the crock pot.
Ooh. That would be really good.
I told you the Mississippi chicken thighs is much better than the pot roast.
See, number one, before I comment on that, I'm going to have to try it because I believe you.
Well, if you haven't tried it, don't continue that statement. Just stop right there. I'm going to shut you down. I've made a lot of fucking Mississippi pot roast.
Yeah. Don't
even continue your thought until you've done it.
Until you do it. Yeah.
That's right. All right, go ahead and tell me anyway.
No, it's just I even like the pork version. I may like the pork version as much, if not maybe a little bit more than the beef. So yeah, I can.
Yeah, the chicken thighs, I don't know what it is about them, but
it's chicken thighs, man. You can't go wrong with chicken thighs.
Yeah.
I always say I'm an ass man, but asses are connected to thighs.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
thick thighs matter.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. My problem with the Mississippi pork butt is I just didn't do it right the first time.
It's like you said, you need double.
Almost probably, like you said, almost triple.
And I'm going to say triple.
Yeah. Or cut that thing in half.
Well, that was the other thing. I don't know why that didn't cross my mind to start with. And I believe you mentioned it. Why not just cube it up? Or not cube it up, but slice it up.
Yeah.
And get it into several sections. Yeah. And then you might not need as much seasoning. But you know what's going to happen? Michael's got a big old fat pork butt sitting in the double tap in freezer. We're going to find out. I got pepperoncinis, I got ranch, I got butter, I got au jus, I got all that shit right here because when I go, I know at some point I'm going to make it. I'll buy 2 of everything.
That's right. That's right. Here's something else for you. A Mississippi ham roast. And this literally just popped into my head.
Damn. Why not? Why not? Yeah.
And they're on sale at Food Line.
Yeah. Don't add salt.
The only thing that I would say with that is, again, because it's so big, to cut it down.
Yep.
And to do it.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've got where we did one Thanksgiving and then we did one for something else. Did 2 back to back. Oh, Friendsgiving. We did 2 back to back. I have chunks of ham.
Oh,
so I can do a small version of it.
Yeah,
just using the chunk of ham or chunk of ham that I have. Because you know, spiral cut ham, they don't spiral the entire thing. You still get a
still get that end. Yeah.
I've got a couple of those vacuum sealed in the freezer that I was going to use for ham and bean soup. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
It's just sitting there being cold, I might as well use it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to make chicken and dumplings or some sort of dumplings.
Yeah.
So
I can remember as a kid growing up having Sunday dinners, and the majority of Sunday dinners were some sort of beef and dumpling, chicken and dumpling, something like that in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
I can see my grandmothers right now making the dumplings no bowl, no nothing, dumping the flour straight on the fucking counter, mixing that shit up, rolling it, slicing it, and throwing it right in the pot, right off the counter, all that
Yep.
shit. I've seen it 1,000 times, it seems like. And
Yep.
whenever I can see them wearing their aprons, doing all that. And there's something about that being nostalgic. And I'm salivating now just thinking about that shit. And I can make a dumpling. I don't feel like wrecking my fucking kitchen.
Right.
So the convenience of Aunt Annie's frozen dumplings is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm guessing it's just flour, oil, butter, probably some white.
I think it's just it's flour, salt, baking soda, baking powder, whatever. I don't know. And that's about it. I don't even know if it's milk, water, whatever,
Yeah.
to get it going, but don't have any idea. But
Hmm.
I don't even know if it has fat in it because it's not a biscuit. It doesn't rise. It's not flaky. It's just a slick piece of flour, boiled flour shit.
Yeah.
Tasty flour shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say every time that the 2 times that I remember having it, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. So anyway, that's going to be my project here in about an hour. I'm going to start that process so we have it ready for 6 o'clock dinner time.
Gotcha. How are you cooking your chicken?
I am going to boil it, and I
use that as your stock.
Yep, use that as my stock, and I have chicken broth that I will boil it in. I will, when everything is done in the pot, I add potatoes to mine, cubed up potatoes, and actually I think I'm not going to do it this time because Mom said she wanted mashed potatoes, so I'm doing mashed potatoes. So I'm not going to put potatoes in it, but typically I'll cube up that. I'll add some veggies in it, and that way when I strain everything out, I can separate the veggies and have them on the side. But I'll boil that chicken. I'll strain the stock, and then add dumplings to that. And then, based on how much of a thickening agent, sometimes the dumplings will take care of it on their own. Sometimes they won't. I'll add a cornstarch slurry or something to it to get that consistency of the gravy that I want.
Gotcha. Wonder if you smoked it.
It has to be better.
Smoked it like you put like a little grate on the bottom.
And
so you get it up. And you get a little grate in a pan so that way you catch those drippings.
Yep.
And you can use that when you make your gravy.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not going to hurt anything.
No.
It might hurt your pride if it doesn't turn out, but that's okay. It's been hurt before.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time. And they're not going to know anyway.
Yep.
It's like 100%. It'll still turn out. Like it's not, it's not going to be bad.
Yeah.
So.
It's like party ribs when you fuck them up. People are still going to eat them and think they're fantastic, but they're fucked up.
Right. Even when you tell them, stop fucking eating that. That's disgusting. Scraping and like breaking the shit off the bottom of the pan. Stop eating that. You see how it's all burnt around that? That's burnt. Stop eating that.
But it's so good.
But they're good. No, they're not. That's fucking trash. The only reason I haven't thrown that away is because you guys won't get the fuck out of the way.
God bless America.
Love it. All right, well, we're going to wrap this show up on that. So if you guys have a recipe for chicken and dumplings, beef and dumplings, whatever in dumplings, send it to us. We want to hear about it.
And what's your version of chicken and dumplings? Yeah,
tell us what it is. What is your chicken? What is your whatever in dumplings? Is it some hillbilly horse shit from Dutch country, which is a chicken pot pie?
Yep.
Or is it some other mix of whatever
voodoo you all do?
Yeah, but let us know. And if you have some chicken pot pie recipes, we'd love to hear that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're kind of a slut for that stuff too. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. waywardsouls88@gmail.com if you want to reach out to us, or through our social media. We love to hear from you guys, and we'll see you soon. Peace.